Show me what you know. Take me to that place. I'm stuck within these walls. I need a quick escape. You know where I can go. Take me to that place.
Hello, ladies and gents, boys and girls. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you've had a good night. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. So obviously I've been kind of like talking about this for quite a while. So last year, obviously, Space Marine 2 came out, and it inevitably piqued my interest in the actual model side of the game. And it piqued my interest enough. I mean, I've always been interested in the game. Hello, Shadow, by the way. Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you again. Yes, 4 a.m. What are you still doing up? Go to sleep. Anyway, so I've always, known about Warhammer ever since I was a kid. The first time I was introduced to Warhammer was my friend had the Space Crusade board game, the one that came with like all the different color models and I think they were Necrons at the time, and you had like a little ability packs or something like that. Since I all right, okay. So, and that was back in the 80s, 90s or something like that. So that's the first time that I had any interaction with Warhammer. And then my dad bought HeroQuest, the board game, kind of like a D&D mix Warhammer. Sorry, I do apologise for burping. So yeah, he bought the Warhammer, and obviously there was a Games Workshop back then, obviously, in town, and we walked past it and stuff like that. And obviously seeing these models in the window, seeing the painted finished products and stuff like that, obviously as a kid was like, oh wow, amazing. So I've had some, like, from a very early age, some knowledge about Warhammer, and I played Dawn of War like religiously when it was out and absolutely loved it. And as I say, kind of knew about the. I'm going to turn that down a bit. It seems a bit loud, but anyway. I'm going to turn my volume down because don't need to hear that much. Anyway, I've just done a new stream setup for this side, so there's a lot of I need to work out little bits here and there. Anyway, so for one reason or another, I mean, I got into when I was about 18, I got into airsoft, and as people who have done airsoft, it can be very expensive, and that kind of took over. So Warhammer side of things, it just get to stay to game side or something like computer games and what have you. Obviously, as I say, Warhammer kind of airsoft took over. I did it for 20 odd years. But as my back isn't so great anymore, I've kind of had to step back away from it. And other than obviously gaming and streaming, I caught that bug, if you will. I thought I needed something else. Other than just playing it, I mean, very much I wanted to play it, and it does seem like a very involved game, which I'm wanted to get into. I haven't actually played it yet, but it's something that I'm interested in. But obviously, the first thing is painting models. Probably can't see that because of the focus, but there you go. So painting models. Yeah, I kind of needed something else as a hobby wise, and I thought, why not? And the missus just past went, I'll get you one to see how you feel. Get you a set or beginner set to see how you feel. So we're going to try it out today. Well, we'll talk. Not £400 later. What are you talking about? Not down that far yet. Will be soon. The other thing as well is that I have picked up models. I actually got some models in. There's 2 sets. Right. Okay. So obviously talking to my friends and what have you about it. One of my friends did have a collection of Space Wolves. Space Wolves are very much something that I am very I want Space Wolves. Vikings in space, that's an instant win for me. Instant win. So he said that he's not playing them. They're just sitting collecting dust. They're just packed away, and he needs to make space. So will you swap? Will you get it? I was like, yeah. I was quite happy to take him on. Very interested. And it was a very large army. Didn't cost me anything because basically I had some airsoft stuff that he wanted. So we did a swap. And effectively, if you look at it, okay then. All right, Shadow. See you later. Sorry, I've lost myself now. It was. All right, so I've lost myself. I can I'm quite nervous because it's not something that I've done before painting wise, and I'm worried about getting it, wrong, or not doing well. I want to do a good job at them. I want to paint them well, and make a good effort. But then again, it's I'm very much kind of you need to just get on and do it. And if you make a mistake, so what? It doesn't matter. So there's at the moment, there's 2 parts of my brain going off at the moment, and I'm really tensing up. Anyway, so yeah, we swapped. We did a swap. effectively only cost me probably, like, in terms of what the value of what I swapped was about £80. So a full army for £80, that's like, and I'm talking full army like 3,000 points, 3,000 point army plus maybe even up to 4,000 for 80 quid. That's pretty good. Now, the one thing I didn't realise, even though he kind of made out that it was, is that these were, he didn't really know, he wasn't aware of the changes and what have you, but these were firstborns, and I've got some pictures, and obviously later on I may show them off and what have you. Anyway, so I've got them back, and obviously I was a bit worried that, you know, oh, firstborns, are they survivable? And obviously going down to the local Warhammer shop, said no, they're absolutely fine. Can't use them in tournament, but obviously in friendly games and what have you, they're all right. They're good. You know, you can play them. Like, fantastic. And I kind of looked at myself and said, actually, this is a good opportunity because, one, I'll just show you an image. I'm going to add an image right now. Add an image. Space Wolves. I'm just going to put that in. Space Wolves. And then just add this in. As you can see, oh, that's a bit big. Hang on. Oh, bloody hell. That's crazy big. As you can see right there. So, quite a large army. Load of tanks at the top. Terminators in the middle. Oh, sorry. So, tanks. So, I'm not going to go through the list. So, obviously they've been painted, not been painted in traditional Space Wolf colours. He did his own sort of thing. He turned around and said that he wanted to do camouflage, but it didn't come out like that. It just came out as white. So I kind of saw, and you know, again, coming after this, well, this isn't a bad thing because one, I can still play him in a friendly environment, so I can basically learn the game, get learning the game while I build an actual up-to-date list. Also, because these things are tiny, much more tinier than this dude here, which is obviously an Infernus Space Marine, is painting size, because these are a lot smaller, details are much more tinier and what have you. It's a great opportunity to kind of like learn painting and, you know, try and, you know, skill up and what have you, if you will, and, you know, learning layers and what have you, and recesses and shading and all that sort of thing. It's a good opportunity to do techniques and just keep practicing so that when I get the opportunity, I can then start painting. I can then start doing these guys. I've actually got quite a few. So I've actually got Hands of Morocco, Wolfen, Dreadnought, but is also, I'm going to make that my Bjorn. I'm going to do that Bjorn. Also got Ragnar Blackmane, an Iron Priest. Also picked some data sheets. And obviously I'm very interested in the Combat Patrol and the new, obviously with the new, what's been released. Yeah, painting, mate. I'm going to get started in soon. Razor, could you just let me know house? Because Shadow just disappeared. Can you let me know? I'll let a look. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. Can you let me know how the volume is, the music volume is? Is it, you know, is it okay, not okay? I don't want it too much. Anyway, so, you know, getting the opportunity to paint, you know, those space walls there will probably give me better, you know, help me learn how to paint. So when it comes to guys down there, these guys here, should have proficient skill and knowledge to do it right. So, but again, audio maybe a little bit because it sounds special, if that makes sense. Yeah, and you're looking fresh. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Yeah, I've changed the audio so it's much more focused. So so there's a bit more bass. You can't hear background, can't hear the music, so you can have that louder. All the stuff going on as well in the background. Table knocks as well, which is still a bit. I need to get that down, but it's like knocking the mic as well. You know. Yeah, so it's picking some up, but I need to slight adjustments and what have you. So yeah, we've gone through a long intro about sort of 20 minutes intro or 15 minutes intro. So we're gonna get started. As I say, I'm nervous. I am nervous. Obviously, it's not something that I've not done this before, but hopefully, it's gonna be all right. What I should have done, or I might do, I'll show the set. Let's stick this on. Hang on, bear with me. Bear with me, folks. And I'll show you what I've got. So, here we go. Sorry about that. Well done. Cheers, mate. Thank you. So yeah, what I've got here is a Cry Druffy portable paint set. So obviously water, place to store the brushes, dripping away. And a bit of storage. The Citadel paints ready to go. There's my palette. Now I need to get some tissue paper, some kitchen roll in a minute because of some dry brushes. There, these are from Nick Pro, bought off Amazon. Various size brushes, and so we've got flat brushes, round brushes, different sizes, liner brushes, really thin brushes, and I've got an angle brush as well. And then in here is the Citadel paintbrush that came with it. This is probably going to be like a mixing brush that I'm going to do or use. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Got my old holder there. So I can see my brush is always flat and thin. Very funny. Got a little webcam there. I will say I do apologize for the image quality. These cameras are on the cheap side. Basically, it was just something. It's right, to be fair. Well, wait till you get to the close cam and let me know. I do need to kind of like think about some better cameras, some 4K cameras that have like good, decent zoom. And I have seen one about £15 on AliExpress, and then AliExpress is pretty good. So we're going to get started in a minute. Close cam, yeah, close cam. So here's the main scene, as you can see. Got close cam. There you go. So close cam. And I've got the chat scene. Ooh, yeah, no. And then a focus one. So this will probably be the main one with the chat by the side of it. And then kind of if I'm focused, just focus on painting and not doing anything, or not, not talking. And you're talking amongst yourselves. Get that one. I need to get. I've seen them on AliExpress as well. Some like stream decks and what have you. So thinking about that as well. Some cheap stream decks. Main scene for obviously if I'm conversing a bit. Chat scene if I'm just now chatting about what have you. Taking a break. Right, so hopefully this should be going well. So before we start, chat scene could probably do with a bit at the top of each other. Yeah, I don't know what to do there. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do there because obviously if I stick it in the corner like this, it's a bit all over the place. I mean, it's better than having it over. Well, I'm thinking that. Yeah, that'll stay there. Right. Yeah, maybe the logo in the bottom right. I got that logo is part of the I might have to take that logo out and put it separately. Yeah, you're probably right. Let's put that separately because obviously the logo is part of the overlay. So I may have to change that. Thank you very much, mate. Right. I need to pop to the little boys' room. So I'll be back very, very shortly. Please bear with me. So talk amongst yourself or talk amongst yourselves. I will be back. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate it. So we'll actually get started painting soon. My very first painting. I am nervous. I am proper nervous. Here we go.
Took my love and gave it back. It's yours to leave, but it won't keep me from this heart.
Nervous painting is not a good option. No, it's not. Oh shit, hang on. Knock it off. Is this the new lounge, by the way? No. It's still the same lounge. But obviously, the computer is in here now. So where it used to be in the dining room, if you can remember, it's now moved into here to make room in the dining room because of the dogs eating. The dog crate looks different. And also, maybe there's been some changes, some new couches. Don't have the angle couch anymore. We just got two. Got doggies over. Oh, doggies over there. Doggies watching the world go by. If I had what was it? Bam, because I'm not going to need that. Right. Whew. Trying to remember how it was before. Yeah, I think it's the couch that's different. They're still not released their guest tanks. Not looking promising. Yeah, they probably haven't got anything this year. So Razor, how did Friday night go? I'll put it down now. How did your night go? Did you have fun? Give it a bit of a shake. Right, so what brushes I'm going to use? So actually, I should actually do that. So this is the Citadel brush, and it is a starter brush. Yeah. So that's about the size. Can't really see it because that's about that big. So what I did is I kind of worked out, very thin, that, and you're using round brushes more than anything else. Oh, bloody hell. I'm going to put that in there. So, yeah, good selection from this. Not the best. All right, okay, mate. Well, I won't pry too much while on stream. Is there 3 round brush? Guess not. I must have missed. Right. So I worked out that this is probably about between a 1 and a 2 brush. So these two here. Can't really see that well. So it looks like it's going to be about these ones. So this is a brush the starting brush that came with it. And so generally they'll be saying, oh, you'll be working on these 3 here. And I've got some smaller bits for smaller details. So this one here, which is a /4, that's going to be for the recesses. If I wanted to do pin recesses, that would be the one to go. But normal and what have you, I'm guessing something like this will be just to get all over the normal painting. So what I need to do is get that on there so I can see it. So I want to use one. The only thing about these Cry is that because these brushes are thicker, like the handles are a lot thicker, like if you can compare to, say, that, they don't really fit in the rubber holders on the Cry Ruffy. The only thing that I can say at this moment in time, because obviously I haven't used it yet, but yeah, so that would be fine, like that. But that's sticking out. You can't really see it, but oh, bugger! Right, you can see it's bulging out. But that's, you know, that's because these are big brushes. Obviously, it's not designed for. So let's get that. So we want one. I'm going to go with the 2 as well. That's going to be my all over first base. Let's get that out. We won't use 4 at the moment. We'll use 0 and 2. And then if we get to it, we're not even getting to that point yet. So, oh, bloody Nora. Anyway, let's go. Let's go. Let's do this. Right. So, with the norm, with what they, you know, they say is you want to do thin out the base. Oh, let's put this on there first. There he is. That's what we're going to do first. Hopefully, again, I'm not paint before. What's he called? Spud Marine. He's called Spud Marine because he's the first, and he's going to look like a spud. Okay. Woo. So apparently, well, I mean, you can't see this off screen, so wash. Oh. See, right, so one of the things that a lot of people say is that the pot, he doesn't have a name. The first experiment is never named, always a number. 1.0 then. 1.0. I've also got some friends of his, which I'll also be doing as well, or trying to do. A couple of friends. 2 Tyranids. So, a bit of water. Still quite thick. Maybe a bit more water. I've made an absolute mess of this. So, maybe a bit more paint. See? What I should have done was use some of the old brushes to come to like mix. That's a bit better. Okay. Let's go. Please tell me you've not missed your very first important step. There's always one mucky pot. First step, what's that? Coffee. No, I've had my coffee. I've had 2 coffees, so I'm very I need my bloody glasses today. My missus turned around and goes, oh, don't you make a mess of the carpet and everything else. I'm like, oh, I hope I won't. There we go. Right. And it's basically, you go all over. Oh, this may be too thick, actually. may have done this too thick. I need to get some water. I may have done this too thick. No, it's too watery. Fuck me. Too much messing around. That's too watery now. Watery. And it's taken off paint. Not really doing a very good job here. First time. You'll see that not very well. Yeah, it's kind of taking off paint. I'm using the bigger brush as well, so that's silly. This isn't going very well. Jesus Christ, oops. So what I'm putting on is McGrath blue base. So you do the McGrath group. First, I should have used a small one. Now it doesn't work. I know that a lot. You know, you don't have to worry too much about. You can't really see it, can you? Now I know this is going to take a couple of bases. I should have used a fucking smaller brush. Yeah, two. Yeah, so now actually use the first thing you do actually first thing that you do Razor is you actually start with primer. So I'm just gonna put that in there for a sec. Oh, I'm a tit, I really am. So I'm gonna do this. Now, let me. There we go. That's better. That's better. All right. So yeah, first step you do is primer. And the primer is there to make sure that any paint that you put on, normal acrylic paint, stays on the the model. So you start off with the primer, which I've already done, already sprayed it. Not my camera. My camera. The thing. You know what? And then you put the base on. Well, you put several bases on 2 layers. Little thin shots. And you're basically just getting everywhere. I don't know enough about painting. I know there's primers, paint, post paint, layers, lacquer, polishing bits. Yeah, we won't be doing anything like lacquer or anything like that. I'm going to move that camera because that's not quite in line. Hang on, bear with us. Seems to be... Ah, no. Not little bits, little... Oh, Cooper, shut up. Okay. Okay, so I'm not worried about too much like getting it on the base, like the gun and everything else, because you can obviously with a finer detail brush you can go back over it and stuff like that. So again, I've got getting that confidence to do it, and I'm going to say this, it is starting to come together. You can actually start to see an aspect. But how do you think? What we're thinking right now? I should. The one thing that is obviously I've got to learn is focusing on one area and making sure that's done before moving on to the next. Sorry, was thinking. What were you thinking, buddy? So there is, I mean, I was also like pondering to myself, oh, get his bum. It's thick in some places and thin in other places. Man, good thing with these push fit models, you can basically move things out of the way if you need to. What were you thinking? I wasn't, sorry, what wasn't thinking? I'm probably butchering this to all fucking buggery. And again, it's like, you know, you can sort of see. Okay, maybe let's just leave that to dry and then leave that to dry for a bit. Right. Supposed to be the ferrule. Now I worked out what it is. You're not supposed to put it in the bloody main beat. You're supposed to put it in the ferrule. Like that. I'm a tit. Absolute tit. There we go. Right. I'm going to leave that to dry for a bit. Again, I don't know how. So here's the one thing, right, that I find really strange. Now, I know that Duncan Rosa says something. They don't really give a, you know, even in the getting started book. Look at the getting started book that came with the models, the painting side. Gone too far? And that's putting it together. Yeah. It doesn't actually turn around and give you an idea. It just says once dry, add another thin coat. So, and this is the kind of thing that I found with places. I know different temperatures and different ambient temperatures and that are different worldwide. So it all depends on what's going on here. You could probably tell if it's dry or not dry. There's some bits that's still wet. There's a sheen. But don't really turn around and go, roughly about 15 minutes. It's roughly about 20 minutes. Depending on how deep, say, the recesses are, whether or not air, and that's the main thing, is whether air can get to it. As I say, like in the corner here, it's still obviously wet here. Other areas have dried. I don't. So I'm just going to leave it for a bit longer. And hopefully that will dry off. You alright? June. So yeah, I haven't worried too much about the base because obviously they can come back over. I did, when I was doing it, was trying to sort out the line. See, oh fuck! Now I forgot it's under a bit. This is the problem in certain places. Is that you're just not going to be able to get into it unless you do sub-assembly painting, and that's what I'm thinking that I'm going to have to do for like the other models. Is do sub-assembly painting. I did sub-assembly priming, but I'm thinking I'm going to have to do the same thing for why is that popped out? Oh, wait a minute. Oh. No. Oh. But so you don't get kind of like, oh, it's going to take this long to dry off. It doesn't give you, they don't turn around and say that. Now, I'm sure it probably doesn't take long, but for example, a wash, which is basically a stain, if you will. The idea about the wash, it goes into like the darker recesses, so like the gaps, like in between there. See, that's not too good. From what I've watched, I know building it is one main color and then adding detail next. Yeah, basically. As you see, you probably can't. Yeah, you can. So where the helmet is, you can see the two gaps there. That was a lot bigger, and that was because of the pin in the middle. I really need to again. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, shit, I haven't done that. I haven't done this. So, I mean, what I didn't do is that when I did the paint, I didn't close the lid. And you should do, really. It's still a bit wet. So, right. So the other thing that we're going to look at is these Tyranids, and I'll let that to dry. I'm gonna start on the other guys. So, or have a go at the other guys. So I've got some. These are stuff that I picked up from work. Basically, they're what the rolls. Squished in. I'm gonna use the starter brush for this, and you alright? Yeah, I'm gonna be recording. Bye. You need me? Okay. Bye. Yeah. Oh, you kidding? Yeah. Right. Okay. Okay. Everything okay? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mrs. just talking to me. Right. Is that it? Yes, that's basically it. I haven't done that bit yet. I've done this bit. Women. Right. What, with the money that I earn? Anyway, right. Can I carry on? Yeah. So, yeah, everything's all right, mate. Thank you. Just the missus popping in. Right. So this is called. So this is contrast paint. So the idea is that contrast paint just adds is basically a stain. Now some. And the way the guy turned around and said, just oh, you just wash it over, go all over the thing. Just try and get it as much, spread it around as much as possible, really quickly. So the idea, not too worried about. Maybe you should use a bigger brush for this, but I need one of those 3D printed things. Maybe use those big brush for this. Men paint models, women do paint nails. Yeah, pretty much, mate. Pretty much. Blue, a lot of blue in there. How do they do this? There's a lot of blue in there. I'm trying to tease it. Let's try this. Hopefully they won't. Big brush. Ooh. And then just go over. There we go. That's better. Bit more, bit too much. But you want to, with these contrast paints, is just get it all over as quick as possible. Moving the brush, apparently. So things like this. Try and get it into the recesses. So it sits and pulls into the recesses. There's a lot here. I'm going to try and take that away. And then what I'll do is do like a Wraith Bone dry brush over it. And then in a bit flimsy. Sorry, you can't really see that well because it's so bright. Hang on. Right. I need one of those 3D prints that hold the fucking thing open. I don't want too much more of that. Oh, he's gone purple. Okay. So this is a good test. See what it does. And this is basically what's known as speed painting, Razor. The idea is that I'm collecting stuff that has this one takes a while to dry. Just taking it off so I can see what kind of like I want to go next. Let's take a look at it. Yeah. Right. Okay. So I'll turn that back on so I can. Nope. A little bit. There we go. Right. There we go. I'm missing. It's basically a stain. So this is a stain. The idea is that it will stain but also sit in the recesses. I can make, or could make this into a wash. Let me see. Thin it out a bit more. That's not. What I'm going to do, as soon as I get in there, you bit. Why won't you go in that hole? Ah, that's what she said. I can get in there, but you want to go in there. There we go. Bit more liberal. And then like properly in certain places. I mean, it has in certain places, but it hasn't in other places. That's annoying. So maybe I should go back to the. Is that this is not a toilet roll? No. So this is a label roll. So this is obviously at work we use labels to print off for dispatching and stuff like that. So this is one of the internal rolls. And I thought, well, that's a perfect size, hand size, quite sturdy as well. And so if I've got this fella on or more than one on there, I can leave him on there and he'll be fine. And then I've got this one, and then I've got another one. Yeah. Oh shoot. A lot stronger. I was like, what the fuck? You can also use toilet rolls. There's nothing stopping you from using toilet rolls. I've got to get his balls. I've got his balls underneath. Patience people have to do this is unbelievable. I'll give props to that's too much. He's very purple at the moment. grey purple. I think I've done this wrong. Then the contrast is a stain more than a recess thing, so I don't have to worry too much about it. Especially when we paint that over. So once I've let that dry, the idea is need one of their magnifying glasses. So that's what this is. Oh mate, that's what this is. So I had options, obviously. I'm gonna leave this to dry for a bit. I think I've got as much as I can into certain places, and now I'm kind of like feeling I got taken off paint, because I'm just basically going to go over certain bits, like certain, like the fleshy tones are going to go over, carapace is going to go back over. So this is the carapace. I'll probably put some darker purple, which is this stuff, Nagaroth Night, and then Wraithbone on certain places like floors and what have you. Wanted to kind of give it that purple tinge. Right, but on this one I'm going to do something slightly different. So on this dude, so that's full contrast. So that's full contrast paint on this dude. This dude, I'm basically going to wash this down. So I'm going to put some more water with this, not in the pot, but in my little palette here. And it's going to create a wash. So this shade, you would use that on the armor on this in the recesses. So like in there, or you would get some Abaddon Black, put lots of water in it, and then basically pin or give it a what's called a wash. My understanding anyway. So the idea is to do, I'm going to do that with this dude, which means it will go into the recesses a little bit easier and not sit on the fleshy bit and try and move it around a bit more. So that's the idea. So I'm going to need another. I need a wee. Yep. Right. Right, I do need to go to the loo again, so I'll be back very shortly. Please bear with me, folks. I'm back. Right. Only problem with having 2 coffees in the morning. Here's a go through me coffee. Okay. Won't be almost lunchtime soon. Him. Right. I don't want to. Okay. So. Brush. Don't go with that one. No. Gonna try to do a name. Or really watery. And yeah, that's getting better. That's getting better. So, what I'm going to do now. It might not be it. Might need a little bit more. Yeah, no. I've got it. Right. So this is kind of like this is the idea about this is to just, I want to get the creases, like the little holes in the tail, its side bits and what have you. So it's to go into the creases and just make the creases dark. I'm gonna do that. Just go. Just move it around. There you go. That's it. That's it. That's it. Keep moving around so it goes into the creases. Oh, that's it. That's it. Go on. Aye, that's done it. Get the gun as well. And then where it's kind of pulled, I don't want it to pull. There you go. That's it. That is to move around and pull it away. Away from certain areas. But this little guy here, right? Because when I first looked at him, I'm like, and you can't really see it, but if I do that, right, that body trying to get underneath there, I just went, how am I going to do that? So this is what made me go. This guy went, I need to do sub-assembly kind of painting, especially priming, because if I'm going to spray it, that gun's going to stop it. So this is why I went for sub-assembly priming. And now again, I'm kind of thinking, right, I'm going to need to think about so it's kind of stained it. But not to the same effect. So get this side done. I am here listening, but sorting bits. No worries, mate. No worries, mate. Whoops, told you. No worries, mate. Getting underneath it. I mean, yeah, I'm just you do that then? And they're that like that, and there's a lot of Marine. But it has gone into the recesses. So it's good like that. I mean, some things are just not going to get done, I think. That's it. Ooh. And you can kind of see the difference between the two. That one. We'll focus on that one, shall we? You can kind of see the difference. That one, very heavily stained. Very heavily stained compared to that one. So we'll do that. No, that's the difference. That's the difference between. And in all honesty, missed it there. Yeah. Just missed a few bits. I didn't worry. But... Yeah, then. Okay, so the two aspects of like kind of like the idea that's really stained in certain places and not. That's not going to turn out as I hope. In some places, so may need to touch up. This is Alright, so... Okay, right, folks, I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna go AFK for a couple of seconds. Just got to move the playset so Mrs. can do some mowing the lawn. So I'll be back very, very shortly. Please bear with me. Back again. Okay, so not terrible. Looking at it, not terrible. This has kind of gone into the recesses in in places, but not on all. That may take some more time to dry, so we'll go back onto old Spud Marine here. It's not come out too bad. Certain places I've missed. And you can see brush strokes. I need to be a bit more slower and smoother with what I do. Okay, well, let's try that again. Have a drink first. I'm nice and clean like your models. Thank you. Right then. Put you bastards over there. Move it. Move it. Okay. Right then. So right out. Okay. Not a problem. So I'm gonna go back to my black blue. So we're gonna use the start. I'm gonna use the start brush. Because I want to get it smoother. Just need to do. Load up the palette. Check. Is what you're painting the bits you brought, or what you got from it? No. So this is what the stuff that I got from for Christmas from the missus. So this is the starter set. So these two here, this guy here, and this guy, are part of the starter set. Oh, sorry, getting started. This guy I picked up from the Warhammer shop because you can go in there and learn how to paint, and they have models that you can grab for free and paint there. But I was leaving at the time and said, "Oh, what are those? How much are those?" And he goes, "Oh no, they're free. Take one and you can practice your painting and that." And the idea is to get you into it, which is really cool. I go a load of paint. This time, not. I did. So I'm gonna paint. Porter. Need to be careful with the barrel. Why is it so hard? So hard. Right. Let's see how this works. Maybe too not enough paint. That's not too bad actually. Alright. Let's try this. Oh, glasses. I can't see shit. Let's start off with the leg. About the light, I can't really see what I'm doing. So, sorry folks, you're gonna lose. This is why I need better cameras, because I do this. I know. Oh, yeah, all doing. See.
Inside the book that I wrote, are all the words that we spoke. Yeah, only with our
Now that looks like it's too much water there. Looks like I put too much water in it.
I can see through your disguise. Lay it down, hope for something better. Looking at the clouds, deciphering the weather. You can't keep this up. The lies are just too much. Kick back, start another fire. Looking at the clouds, making shapes that you admire. You can't stop it now.
See, that's
You don't know how. You can't stop it now.
I will be going over this with black anyway, so that's not really a issue. So I should ignore that. Okay. Okay. All right, baby. Paint. I'll run out. It's gone on thick. That's not good. Where did that come from? Why has that gone thicker? That's annoying. That's annoying because that wasn't thick. Okay, these little bowls things have not worked out, so I need to rethink that. Because that's gone thick on the shoulder. I don't want that because look, I've lost detail there. Bollocks. We should have taken the excess off. Right there. Annoying. Well, first time painter. Gonna make mistakes. Thicker. Right. So the idea for what they say around to get a nice coat, you is basically the kit that is a meme now, but basically it's what's called two thin coats, and the idea is to get this nice kind of like coverage and layer that isn't oversaturated with paint. For example, this bit right here in the corner, you won't be able to see it too much. Hang on. So basically, in this bit here, it kind of went a bit too thick in there. I mean, there's a lot going on in there. It's gone a bit too thick. More than I wanted to. So where I've got my palette, it's not Hey, Musty, welcome to the stream. I'm doing all right. Thank you very much for asking. How are you? In some places, I've done all right. It seems to have. All right. Good. Glad to hear it, mate. I don't think some places have done all right, but there's like the places here on the shoulder where it's kind of really clumped in the middle, and then you got in here what in there is just going to be black anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I think that's it. Some places all right, some places are a bit thick. We don't want clumpy. No, we don't want clumpy. We don't want clumpy. We don't want clumpy. That's not turning out too bad. Just in certain places where I've kind of like overdone it. Oh, I'm hungry. I'm food deprived. Yes. Okay. So we may have to take a break for a bit because it's now 12 o'clock. I'm starting to get hungry. Honestly, this like painting side of it, my first time around, it's an all day thing. I may have to come back tomorrow. I'll come back later to see what the wife says. But I know I'm bloody hungry at the moment. Anyway, so that's the first steps done, if you will. So certain lessons that I've kind of take on board is thinning properly. I mean, there's still black all over the place. Still recesses of black. I know it doesn't really matter because I'm going to go back in and do black in certain places anyway. It's like in the back there, I missed that point. Just that bit. Like in the back behind the thing. This is why sub-assembly is. I had a cheese on toast not so long ago for breakfast. Oh. When you say not so long ago, Razor, I had a peach this morning. Like 10. Oh, that's brunch. Isn't that brunch? That's better than your breakfast. What did you have, Musty? If you say a fry up, I'm gonna smack you. Basically, Cheetos and Red Bull. Cheetos and Red Bull. Breakfast of champions there. So they're all. So, yeah. First steps. I think are all right. Again, just starting out, just learning. I know that this probably palette isn't the best. Having this palette there. So I've seen a lot of people. I could use it. So I have got a wet palette. Part of the cry draft is I've got a wet palette. Maybe I should have actually used that, but a lot of people say no. Use a dry palette first, and then use a wet palette, because then you can get the idea of how to thin your pinks properly on dry, and then there's going to be an ad, guys. So if you're, I'll wait till it's finished. It says it's starting soon. Well, that's what they say, is to use a dry palette first. But what I've seen people need your L plates on. I should put an L plate in the corner down there. Learner. That's what I should do. Right, 2-minute ad. And we'll come back and then we'll finish off. And then we'll see about food. We'll probably... So the missus are giving me... what's a Warhammer L plate for learning a tank? Don't know. I don't know, mate. Sorry. Uh, 2 hours. 2 hours to do that. Just trying to think. Leave that to dry for a bit more. Whoa, stomach. So that's acted less. Maybe I should have done a little bit more water on this dude, because he's... But I can use Wraithbone to bring back the colours, which is the idea. So, he's fine. Dry. I'm missing places. There's some white spots all over the place. I've got to do the gun. So silver. Dalmatian. silver. Got black out some bits. I'm gonna have to use a thin brush for this. Maybe have I got a thinner one? What's that one? That's a 2. Maybe I need a thinner one. Hang on. No, that's 4. There we go. This one here. White spots with black, or black spots with white. Black spots. So I'm going to use the smaller brush. Kind of do, because obviously I've got gold to do here, silver along in here, black in certain places. I've got to do these edges. That's got to be Wraithbone. That's got to be Mephiston red. I'm going to go over these with black. Abaddon black, I'm getting the recesses here, but it's going to be watered down. Mephiston red, Wraithbone. And got to think about edge highlighting as well. Gold. Bit dry brushing as well. Silver. That can stay black. Oh, I've got black, silver. So black in there. Again, using a small brush. Silver. And I didn't do this as well. Not quite battle ready, as they're saying, as they say. Not quite battle ready. I'm getting hungry. Right, so I'm going to end the stream now, guys. But I'm going to try and get back on later, hopefully. Also work out what my next steps are, or I'm going to be back on tomorrow. But this painting is like, there's a lot involved, and it'd take time. It'd take time to go through it. So now you're a pro. Full build. So obviously you've got some tanks there. Again, I'm going to show you. Main scene. Is that where it was? Or was it intro? It was the intro. So there. So I have got some tanks in there. So if I browse, if I go to there, rotate it. There we go. I've got some tanks there that I can try and paint. Whirlwind. This has gone to Legends. That one hasn't. That one's in black. So yeah, but I will be painting those in Space Wolf colours. I've got to try and work out what I want to do with these, whether just to go over them because they are white and they've already got a lot of paint on them already. So one of the lessons that I've kind of learned is to take your time. Take your time. You mean a 1/16th scale from a tank museum? But sure. Yeah, I mean, if I ever get the opportunity to go back, maybe I will. Obviously, you got, is it Bolt Action? or the Wargaming one. No, Bolt Action's got the figures as well. Can't remember what the tank one is. Just the tank one is. But at the moment, focus on this. All right. So as I say, I'm gonna end the stream there. I'm gonna try and get back on later. Hopefully, do a couple more hours on it. And yeah. So far so good. I would say so far so good. If you're doing a tank eventually from there, I'm choosing it. Are you now? Okay. But yeah. So I want to say thank you for everyone who's joined me today. Appreciate it. Hopefully, well, this morning, as I say, hopefully I'll be back on later and do a bit more. Maybe just try and finish off the Space Marine, or do a bit more on the Space Marine only. Because now it's just like the little bits and stuff like that. So I've got the base down, it's just now the little bits. So all good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Razor. Now. Musty, thank you very much. I'll see you again soon, guys. Take it easy. Bye bye for now.